Paul Llewellyn, and welcome to Rainmakers, where we share the stories of those making a difference in their communities. Today, we welcome Jaz Marcos, a woman whose journey through loss has sparked incredible change. After the passing of her husband 3.5 years ago, Jaz found strength and purpose through the Revelation platform, a virtual Bible study prophecy group. This new chapter in her faith inspired her to take action in three impactful ways: supporting a food bank, providing financial aid to build a church for indigenous communities in the Philippines, and helping those unable to attend church themselves. Jaz's story is a testament of how faith can transform grief into a powerful force for good in the community. Welcome to Rainmakers, Jaz.
Thank you, Paul. I'm happy to be here.
So, Jaz, as we begin this story, where does your story start?
I came from the other church, the Catholic, and the passing of my husband actually was very tough,
Mhm.
although it happened 3.5 years ago. But we have an agency for nurses, and we actually have nurses who are in the congregation.
Okay.
They have tried and invited us a couple of times. This is over 22 years ago until they succeeded.
Mm.
They invited me if I wanted to join them in the Bible study. They do a Revelation platform. They study the book of John in Revelation, and it's spearheaded by Martha Hutchinson, a very dear friend and a staff of mine. I
Mhm.
joined in October. Fast forward the story, I loved it, and I found more meaning in my life.
Mhm.
I understood death, dying, and in July, the following year, we got baptized, my son and myself.
Fantastic, fantastic. So Jazz, many people experience challenges when making significant life changes. Were there any obstacles you faced as you embraced this new faith, and how did you overcome them?
I've heard that before. Somebody asked me once, Jazz, have you been baptized? I said, not yet. When are you going to be baptized? I said, July 16, 2023. Oh, be ready for crucibles. I said, I'm ready.
Mm,
I think I've had a lot,
right.
but I look at them in the simplest form, Paul.
Mm,
I always love to simplify things so that I can make sound decisions.
mm,
Because if I get anxious and I don't have the right mindset,
yeah.
that's where I go haywire.
Okay.
I can't decide properly, and then it's very unsettling. So I always pray, by the way,
Mhm.
even before my conversion, I always pray to Jesus.
Fantastic. So, what three initiatives are you involved with? Because you sound like you're very busy. You're occupied in a lot of different areas.
Well, we've got the food bank.
Hmm.
Um, we are an agency of Daily Bread Food Bank, and we do it at Grace CRC Church.
Hmm.
It's the same church that our congregation is renting every Saturday. And then, because of the agency, I received a call from a lady named Patricia. I thought she just made a mistake, but she said, no, I called you because I needed some assistance. Do you have any PSW? I said, sure.
Hmm.
So I made the appointment. I went to see her. I went to visit her mother. Patricia is 75 years old,
Okay.
looking after her mother, wheelchair bound, Ina, and she's 94 years old.
Mm,
But what complicated the matter is that Patricia has a condition called dermatomyositis.
okay.
So the skin and her muscle cells, they are always inflamed. It's an
Right.
autoimmune
Yeah.
condition. So she needed a break. And when she learned that I observed the Sabbath, she was very happy. And she said, I'm an Adventist too. I said, well, which church do you go? The normal question. She said, Jazz, I haven't gone to church in a long while. You
Well,
see my condition? My mom, I can't leave her. She's in a wheelchair. I do everything. And plus, I go for treatment every month.
mm,
So I grabbed another friend, an elder in our group, and his name is John. And I said, "Can we do a Bible study?"
Yeah.
I used to say, Paul, I am not so well versed with the Bible, but I stopped saying that because I just pray that the Holy Spirit will give me the wisdom.
Right.
So I stopped saying that I'm not well versed with the Bible. I just keep on praying. And we've done that many Saturdays, and she's very happy. Now I'm trying to find a way, if I can arrange with Wheel-Trans and
Yeah.
take her to church even in one day in the summer,
Mhm.
that would be great.
Let's go to the ministry that you're also involved in building churches for indigenous people. It's such a significant project to do that. What inspired you to support this initiative, and why is it it's so important to you?
I was at church, and after a few months of being a year after I joined Scarborough Filipino Church, I was invited to a Bible study. I said, sure. It's after our luncheon, and then we go to a room and we study. And they said, we actually have two missionaries in the Philippines,
Mhm.
and we are now in one of the mountains somewhere in Luzon in the Philippines.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where, but I know in the mountains they are indigenous people,
Right.
people that cannot even read and write.
Hmm.
So, would you be willing to join us? I said, sure. So I was elected as the secretary. So every month we contribute to support our
Hmm.
missionaries. And we started with a tent, a tarp, giving them, you know, the support that they needed
Hmm.
to evangelize people. But then the needs start to come out. We need to cement the ground, we need to put the proper tarp, and we need latrines,
Hmm.
men, women. We need generator. So by the grace of God, we were able to support those.
Fantastic.
And then our long-term goal, and we were targeting for 2030, is to come up with the funds and put up a
Hmm.
church. Like I said, I'm just blessed. My
Hmm.
family in the Philippines, so I'm just sharing the blessing, actually, Paul.
Yeah.
And so I said, um, I think God has blessed me that I wanted to share to these people. They needed the church. So I have funded the building of a church. It's quite big, bigger than this.
Hmm.
And the church will serve as a shelter to those people in times of calamities.
Okay.
So it's a multi-purpose structure,
Hmm.
and we are helping the people to be in a safe place
Yeah.
and a safe place to worship the Lord.
Mm. Mm. So when you mean a place to protect, are you talking about protect them from the weather or?
From the weather,
Yeah.
because as I've seen the photos that were sent to me, they live in shanties.
Okay. And the Philippines are prone to
Typhoon.
typhoons. And so if you live in a shanty during a typhoon, it's not
It's
standing.
not enough.
So you're providing a church that will allow them to come there for safety.
Exactly. And
Wonderful.
we've been sending boxes full of clothes, shoes, toiletries.
Yeah.
And I sent a couple of pads, pens for them to write,
Yeah.
because we also have teachers that were willing to spend some time with the children
Oh,
in the
beautiful.
summer.
Beautiful. Your church that you're sponsoring in the Philippines, is that just helping the local area or do you have a wider grasp that you're helping with?
Because the members of our ministry here, called the Seed of Hope, we have members that are from the different province in the Philippines. So they have also asked for assistance. Can we help Brother Dexter? He has evangelized 200
Mm,
people in the Philippines.
wow.
Whatever you can give. So I included that in our ministry, and we sent 6 boxes, as I mentioned. And by the grace of God, Patricia,
Mm,
that I visit and do Bible study, she said, Jazz, I wanted to give back. I wanted to help your ministry. I have tons of clothes here.
mm,
Please pick them up. And I did. And they still have labels. They were not used. Apparently, her sister works for a company in a boutique.
mm-hmm.
And those clothes were ready for donation.
Wow.
And so I put them in a box and sent them to the Philippines. And she said, come again. I have food for the food bank. Thank you.
Yes.
because our numbers are growing. We started with 20 something households. Now we are at 90 households, serving at least 190 people in less than 4 months.
That is amazing. And your small little group does that, or does the whole church help out to bring?
Apparently, my son and myself are the only ones from the SDA group,
Okay.
and the majority from the Grace CRC. But I have already made the announcement, and I always ask for donations. We come up with letters and send them to different companies.
Hmm.
I take the initiative, Paul, because remember we closed in Christmas time?
Hmm.
We were only closed for 1 week. Most of the food banks were closed for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I was so scared when the
Yeah.
floodgates opened, we didn't have enough. So I had to fork out my own and finance a lot of things.
Wow. It's a great sacrifice. What has been your most rewarding aspect of being part of these efforts, whether it's the church, the food bank, or helping others get to church?
Actually, it's very simple. Um, for the love of Christ, I'm doing all these things to help as much as I can,
Hmm.
help others, because I feel that we're so blessed, but there are so many out there that needed help.
Wow. You seem like you're stretched in all different areas, but you also help people get to church every Sabbath. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I tried to help Patricia. I haven't done that yet because of
Yeah.
the transportation and because of the weather.
Okay.
So when spring or summer comes, I'll try to make sure
Hmm.
that I'll take her and
Yeah.
mommy to church.
Wonderful. And that's a lot when you're bringing somebody that might not be mobile like the rest of us. You really have to take your time and provide a large vehicle to do that too, because
Correct, but we can arrange with wheel
yeah,
trans for sure. But
nice.
wheel trans will do the transfer, but once they're inside the building, I should be there and ask other churchmates to
Yeah.
help.
Wow. So, Jazz, tell me a story of someone whose life was positively impacted by the work that you do.
Well, I should say Patricia
Hmm.
because she cried and she said, Jazz, I have not been to church in so many years. Look at my situation.
Yeah.
And so I said, if you can't go to worship, we'll come here and
Yeah.
do the Bible study. And she was very happy. And from that point onward, we became friends.
Okay.
I garden a lot. In the summertime, I'll just run there. Are you home? Yeah, I'm home. I'm coming. I'll
Mm.
bring a lot of tomatoes,
Yeah.
beans, and whatever produce I have. I
Mhm.
share. And I also work with a company called Sikura, and we manufacture food items with organic seaweed.
Oh,
And
okay.
the seaweed is coming from Israel. They're farmed, aquacultured in Israel.
Mm,
And a dear friend Inbal is very generous, and she has donated boxes of falafel made of seaweed to the
really?
church. And Patricia is one of the recipients. She loves it.
I've never heard of falafels made with seaweed before. I want to try some.
Absolutely.
All right. Are there any other people that you're able to help out, or any other stories that stand out in your mind of people that just were impacted by the ministries that you're
Tons
involved
of them in the Philippines that I
in?
don't
Okay.
even know their names.
Really?
They would just send me a video saying, "Thank you very much, and may your family be blessed
Mm.
for the wonderful work that you've done."
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Gives us sometimes courage to do even more when we hear those little thank yous. Jesus healed, 10 lepers once, but only one came back. And that's the leper that was talked about in the whole story. So it just takes that little thank you, gives sometimes the needed push that we have to continue doing.
It's been my life, Paul. Since I
Yeah.
started earning money, I always give back to my siblings.
Mm.
And then I went to New York. I would help my parents. I would help relatives, whoever needed help, for as long as I have.
Right.
And now I was looking for a way, how do I occupy my time? Lord, what is my purpose? I
Hmm.
want to be useful.
Yeah.
Please guide me. And with a lot of prayers
Mhm.
and, of course, getting to know different groups, then I
Yeah.
get myself involved. And here I am.
Jazz, I hope more people would pray that prayer. because I think God's looking for more people to help out. You know, He says the harvest is great, but the workers are few.
Few.
And so I wish more people, even people that are watching this show, would pray that same prayer. So let's go on to another question here. Have you faced any challenges in your volunteer work, and how did you overcome them?
We start our volunteer work with a prayer,
Hmm.
and I end it with a prayer as well.
All right.
There are so many issues concerning volunteer work, and
Hmm.
one of them is that it's quite exhausting.
Yeah.
You're not paid, you're doing everything for free.
Hmm.
Working in a food bank, you can be faced with different personalities, and if they're not satisfied, there can be some conflicts.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. Everything went smoothly.
Hmm.
We received our training, and my agency is actually focused on mental health and addiction. So I know a lot about mental health and addictions and approaching people, um, conflict resolution, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Hostility, how you handle hostile people. So I have applied that, but so far it's been smooth sailing, Paul.
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Um, Now, sometimes you said it's just you and your son Frederick that are helping out. How can we get other people involved in helping?
I have announced it to my church. First of all, not to volunteer, but to come
Hmm.
and make use of the food bank as well, because
Right.
I know our church mates. And I said, it's not embarrassing to
Hmm.
come to the food bank. Two household family come to the food bank. And our motto is that we cannot afford to have anyone leave the food bank without any food.
Right.
2 million people depend on the food bank in the whole of Canada. And
Wow.
that's only under Daily Bread and those recognized organizations. But
Mhm.
what about those private organizations that are raising food to give to the needy? They're not
Right.
even accounted.
Yeah.
So, with the little that we have, and we have impacted so many lives, I really feel great. I always look forward to Thursday.
Hmm.
Tomorrow's Thursday, tomorrow's Food Bank Day.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, I would always say, I wish tomorrow's Thursday again.
Oh, wow.
I-
Excellent.
It's it's gratifying,
Yeah.
and it's very fulfilling.
So, Jazz, I'm going to ask you a deep question here. Why do you do what you do? What's your motivation?
It's very simple. A lot of people ask me, why do you do this? You're supposed to go relax, you're retired. I said, no. As far as I know, I'll be working for the rest of my life for as long as I'm alive.
Hmm.
Why do you do this? I do it for the love of Christ.
Hmm.
I want, I always pray that Jesus will help me look at others the way he looks at them.
Right.
And I always pray that he will use me in a way that I can reach out spiritually
Hmm.
and help with the physiological needs, like the food, some clothing, whatever I can.
Okay.
It's my way of giving back, because the truth is, and we all know, nothing belongs to us. It's
Right.
all God given.
Hmm.
So our role is to manage it properly and to give back and to do something for our mankind. Because when we have our last breath, nothing, we are nothing.
We're not taking anything
We're
with us.
not taking anything with us.
That's right. So better use it up while we can.
Exactly, in
And
a good way.
awesome. Awesome. So looking back, Jazz, how has your faith shaped not only your personal life, but also your sense of purpose and responsibility to others?
It has strengthened,
Hmm.
because there were challenging times, especially in the food bank, where we don't have enough
Right.
from daily bread. And through prayers, everything's ironed out. At the end of the day, we're very happy and fulfilled.
Okay. So what role do you think faith communities play in addressing social issues?
Well, basically, supporting our organization, like I know Grace CRC is doing this with Pastor Tim. He dedicates a month of tithes and offerings for the food bank.
Really?
Yes. And whatever month that has 5 weekends, the
Mhm.
fifth weekend, tithes and offerings is for the food bank.
Okay.
And so it's really very nice to hear something like that.
Mhm.
And I also ask my church mates, my church, if you have anything extra,
Mhm.
if you have anything that you can donate, please do,
Okay.
because we help each other. This organization will not survive
Mhm.
just by myself and Helia, who is the leader of the group.
Right.
It has to be a collaborative work.
Okay.
We have to help each other and pray always.
Yeah. So what do you think the biggest misconception people have about volunteering or doing community service? Because sometimes it just sounds like uh, people are not getting involved like they should get involved. Now you have some various faith groups that get together so that you can merge together to do more. But what do you think is stopping people from volunteering or doing community service?
First of all, people would say they don't have the time.
Okay.
We are so tied up with the worldly things that we don't even have time to pray.
Mm,
Do you realize that, Paul?
wow.
They don't even have time to pray. How much more volunteer? Volunteer where you don't make anything
Yeah.
because it's for free.
Right.
Okay? And we have so many social issues like poverty, racism,
Hmm.
mental health,
Right.
and the refugee crisis.
Yeah.
You know how many refugees come to us?
Yeah.
But with our food bank, I'm really very happy
Mhm.
that I'm able to reach out and help them, because whether they're refugee or not, they need food to survive.
Right.
And since they're already here, we can't be telling them go back to your country.
Yeah.
We'll just try to help as much as we can.
Right. So, what do you think the future is of these three ministries that you do? Um, if you don't do them, do you think somebody else will carry on?
Right now we are actually nurturing some other members,
Oh, good.
because some of our members are already retired,
Yeah.
and we need to train new people and younger people.
Mm,
Same with our missionaries. We need to train so that as we nurture them and they're able to lead the group, the original missionaries can go to other parts of that mountain
okay.
and start again.
Yeah. Fantastic. Your story is so inspiring, Jazz. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to make a difference in their community but doesn't know where to start?
I would suggest approach your church,
Hmm.
because that's how it all started with me. I
Okay.
mean, we know that there are several organizations that you can volunteer, but I think one would feel more comfortable
Mhm.
if you approach your church. The
Fantastic.
church has so many ministries you could imagine.
So, Jazz, what do you hope that the viewers that are watching this show today take away from your journey and the work that you're doing?
Well, I can say that we're never alone
Mm.
and everything is possible if you always pray to God.
Fantastic, fantastic. Jazz, I want to pray for you and your ministry.
Thank
So
you.
why don't we bow our heads for prayer right now? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you that Jazz has stepped out in faith to work in three different ministries, Lord. One far away, one local to people she doesn't know very well, and the other one to people that might be close to her to help them to get to church each Sabbath. Lord, I pray that you will bless her, you will lead her and guide her, give her the resources that she needs, so that, Lord, when it looks that she's so stretched thin and that she might not have a food to feed everybody, that, Lord, you will do like you did when you were on this earth. You multiplied the loaves and the fishes. Do the same for her. Guide her and lead her as her and her son are involved in these ministries. And Lord, let other people come to help too. And so, Lord, that we can build more churches in the Philippines, that we can feed more people in Toronto, and that, Lord, that she can bring more people to church when they need to come. So, Lord, bless Jazz in everything she does and everything that she's going to continue to do. Lay your hand of blessing upon her and pour out your Holy Spirit on her. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Jazz, for being here today. It has been a great pleasure having you here to tell us about your ministries that you're involved. And I hope that people that are watching will feel inspired to go and do something themselves because each person can make a difference.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Paul. It's a pleasure.
Have you been moved by this story and feel inspired to help us continue bringing these impactful moments to life? Your support is essential for us to keep showcasing the volunteers making a difference. If you'd like to contribute to the production of Hope Channel Canada and its ministries, it's simple. Visit agentsofhope.ca, where you'll find various ways to donate: debit, credit, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or send an e-transfer to Agents of Hope at hopetv.ca. Prefer mailing a check? Send it to Hope Channel at 1148 King Street East, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H1H8. For a more personal connection, call us at 1-855-4-HOPE-TV. That's 1-855-446-7388. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Hope Channel Canada, and click the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. You can also watch the show on multiple platforms like hopetv.ca, cable TV, the Roku app, and the Hope Channel app. Are you looking for answers to life's most profound questions? Hope Study provides free online Bible courses that cover essential topics, all at your own pace and from the comfort of your own home. One of our enriching courses, How to Live a Happier Life and Healthier Life, offers practical guidance for improving your well-being through proven principles and biblical wisdom. This study is designed to help you make positive changes, embrace healthier habits, and experience a more joyful and fulfilling life. Signing up is easy and completely free at hopestudy.ca. Begin your journey today and feel free to share this valuable resource with anyone else seeking answers. Uncover life's answers. Visit hopestudy.ca now and start your journey.